Stock Talk. This is your host, Scott. Hope you had a good few days of trading here this week. NVAX has had a so-so week so far. We'll take a look at that in just a minute, but I wanted to talk to you today about something that happened today with NVAX as far as a couple of things actually. There was a global health conference today where they had like a thing you can go watch it from their website. They've got a copy of it there. It's very good if you want to watch that. I'm gonna kind of give you highlights of it. But they had a conference today, gave a lot of information about things that are going on. So I found it very informative. So we'll talk about that. We'll take a look at today's chart. But one thing I did want to show you here, I don't know if you can see this. Let me see if I can pull it up. Got a big scare. Can you see this? Let's see here. Let me see if I can get this out of the way here. You see that? Look at that after hours. If it were only true, this is what we used to call a Yahooey back in the 90s, early 2000s, when Yahoo on after hours would put something crazy up there for a short period of time. This thing said it was $124 up. So hopefully it's a sign of things to come, but it was definitely some kind of glitch. I doubt anybody traded that for that. So, but it was exciting for about 2 minutes because it stayed up there for about 2 minutes. Very exciting, but heartbreaking after it went away. So I don't know if you got a chance to see that, but I took a picture of it because I knew it probably wasn't true because the news wasn't coming out. There wasn't anything there. I went to the message boards. People, that's what I normally do. If I see anything crazy like that, I'll go to the message boards and see what people are saying about it, if there's any kind of news out there. So, but anyway, it was nothing. It was a false alarm. But we did have that conference today, this morning. I think it was sometime this morning. And we're going to talk about that. But let's go ahead and look at the NVAX chart for the week so far. I went ahead and pulled it up because that's pretty much what we're going to talk about tonight is just NVAX. The markets are, so-so this week. Of course, a lot of us depending on what's going on in Ukraine and the Fed. The Fed did come out with their meeting minutes today, so that was exciting as well. Nothing really happened there. The markets were down, but after the Fed came out with that, the markets came back up. So nothing alarming there. But here's where we were Friday, and you can see what happened Monday. The markets were down mainly because of Ukraine, but all the vaccines were down. All the stocks were down. It was a bad day in the market Monday, so took everything down. Here, Tuesday, yesterday, we had a pretty good day. I actually decided to sell some just so I can buy back in at a cheaper price, and I sold some at 86 and 87 yesterday, so we did pretty good there. And then today we could have bought some around 83, but I wasn't going to buy until that Fed thing came out. And once it did come out, it did go back up. But I'm going to keep those shares. We had last shares we bought were at 84, so we sold at 86 and 87, so we did pretty good on that as far as some money. We're going to hold on and hold off on buying any more in case we get back down to this area. If we get back down around that 81 area, we'll probably buy back into those again and try to play it again. But so that's kind of what we did with that. And you see where we ended up today was only down about 0.5%, a little bit more than 0.5%. Had a low today of 82.83 and closed at 86.55 after the Fed speak. So just put a one-day chart on there. You can kind of see what it was doing. You can see it just goes up and down, up and down. And then the Fed thing was 1 o'clock Central, so 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern would have been here, and then that's what it did. So it just went up. The whole markets went up. All the markets were down pretty good. I think the Dow was even down as much as 1,000 points today or something like that. And then it only closed down just a little bit off. So that's what everybody was afraid of. I think that was a good sign today, really, because it did gather back its its levels, even though the Ukraine stuff's still sitting out there kind of unsettled. Yesterday there was talk that they were not going to attack Ukraine. They were pulling back troops. And then today they came back out saying there's no signs that they're pulling back troops. And so, but once that Fed minutes came out, the markets recovered regardless of that Ukraine news. So that I thought that was pretty good. The vaccines even recovered too. They were all down, and then they pretty much all came back. Novavax did not get into green. Moderna did for a little while. I forget whether they closed the green or not, but it was a decent comeback. So, but let's talk about what happened today with this conference. I'm just going to kind of give you some highlights. I've got some notes here. I'm just going to kind of talk to you about that. They kind of started out with a recap of all the testing that they've done with the vaccine, and and all the ethics and that kind of thing about the numbers. We've seen it and heard it all before. Then they did a recap of all the approvals and the pending approvals. So we've seen all that. They talked about global opportunities uh, as a primary vaccination. These are still things that they see as global opportunities, which is primary vaccination, booster vaccination, pediatric vaccination, and they mentioned equitable access. And what they're talking about there is getting into some of these poorer countries to people that don't have access to a vaccine. Uh, they talked about Europe, 27 million doses plus an additional 42 million will be sent for the second quarter. So 27 million this quarter and additional 42 million the second quarter talked about. Uh, Number of supportive policy statements coming out about their vaccines have been made by several countries in Europe, including Germany and Italy. So they were happy to hear those kind of things coming out. Uh, Talking about the shipping since January and their distribution hub there that they've got going. Everything seems to be working well with that. Revenue, they said there would be no guidance on Q1 right now, mainly because I think it's the way some of this stuff flows. You don't know whether you've captured that revenue at that time, so or when you're going to capture it, depending on what happens once you get it shipped out and how quick they get it out. So uh, uh, expect some numbers reported in Q1, but I don't know we're going to get a whole lot of guidance between now and even on the conference call when we have that. So that's probably not going to be good if we don't get any kind of guidance on the conference call for Q1. Uh, we'll see how that goes. Hopefully we can get some guidance because that's going to be very important to try to get that. But it sounded kind of iffy, so I'm not sure if that's good or not. I think the guidance is very important on the conference call. Production ongoing and shipping, and everything's ready for use. So they've got. Sounds like they've got the wheel working now. Everything seems like they've got it. Everything's pretty much mechanized now. How things are flowing. So manufacturing was absolutely not an issue anymore. All those types of things are gone, and the shipping as well. There's nothing, any kind of issues there. It's happening as needed. There's no issues. So all that's good. So we can you know count out any kind of articles that come out and say anything different. But this is coming from the company that the manufacturing is not an issue, the shipping is not an issue, and so everything's good. Um, the goal again is for 2022 is 2 billion doses that they'll be able to manufacture and ship based off of their manufacturing capabilities for the year. They reiterated that, so that's good. Uh, it's easier and faster to use the Serum Institute now. That's why they started with that in first. They will be updating filings as needed when the other ones come online, the other facilities. And they did talk about that a little bit. They talked about the facilities in Czech and the U.S. and the U.K. manufacturing, all moving along in a significant way, quite nicely, is what he said. So everything's going good there as far as getting those up to speed. Uh, did mention Omicron a little bit. The data collection's coming from pretty much ongoing studies. Uh, Existing data does show some good levels of antibodies on the all the different variants, especially once that boost is done on the third shot. So they talked about their antibodies and how long they lasted, and he pretty much said it was like the others, about 6 months, and that's why you get a second shot after 6 months, and then a third shot, the boost, after the year. Okay, so uh, no issues with Serum Institute as far as conflicts of them shipping what they want to ship out versus what Novavax might need. So, because they've got some obligations of their own, and but there was no didn't seem like any kind of worries there about there being any kind of conflicts there on Novavax not being able to get what they need when they need it. So they've actually got a schedule map out uh, with Cerium, so they're very well aware of their needs as well. So, and based off of the way things are getting manufactured already, it didn't seem like there was going to be any kind of issues there. Um, Also talked about the data that says that this thing is not going away anytime soon because you hear a lot of talk about this is over. Omicron is about done. COVID-19 is done, but the way they talked, it's not over. This is going to be something that's going to be around for a while. Market demand going forward, no doubt about that. Based off what they believe and based off of the data they see. Uh, they see there's a lot of opportunities still out there for the non-vaccinated, also especially for boosting in the future and follow-up boosting from there, and also, of course, with the pediatrics, the kids as well. So there's opportunities, still plenty of opportunities for this to be something ongoing. Uh, earnings call is coming soon. The date will be reported soon as well. So look for something to come out here pretty soon on the date of the actual earnings call. I've been seeing things on the message board like it's the 28th, but there's nothing out there yet from the company when this earnings call is going to happen. But expect it towards the end of February or first part of March. Okay, so we should be seeing something on that soon as far as the date. I thought the conference was really good, really great questions by the person that was hosting it. A lot of the questions that people have, and so I think we got some good solid answers. I felt real comfortable uh, with the answers that were given, all except for the guidance part of it. But he did explain that pretty good about the issues with giving guidance because once you ship this out from the hub, it goes into these other countries and these regulatory. It's up to them at that point how quick they get it in people's arms and use the vaccine. I don't know how that payment process works, and I'm sure it's different for every place it goes to. So that's probably why, and it's probably has a lot to do. Somebody mentioned this on the message boards with lawyers. Uh, but we'll see how it goes on the earnings call. Hopefully they'll have some kind of guidance. That was my biggest thing is the didn't feel real comfortable with the guidance as far as the numbers for the money. That's what it's all about right now. But I do feel better just watching this, and I'm sure the earnings call is going to be even more informative, and so that's going to be a plus there. But there's going to be a lot of people looking for guidance. So hopefully we've got some people that's going to ask some good questions on the earnings call. Some of these analysts need to put some hard questions out there as well. Hopefully they'll do some of that, and we'll get a good clear picture of what's going on. We don't have to make all the money the first quarter, as long as there's the progress that needs to be seen throughout the year. This is not a day trade, even though you can probably trade it daily, especially the way it goes up and down. This is an investment. This is not necessarily a trade. So this is an investment. So hopefully we'll hear more in the coming days, and hopefully we'll have a good couple of days with the rest of the week. Thursday and Friday we are down a little bit for the week because we got clobbered so bad on Monday. These things seem to go down further than they go up. So hopefully we'll see everything okay on by the time Friday rolls around here. We'll have a third green week in a row. So hopefully we can get there. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Appreciate you watching. If you haven't subscribed, don't forget to do that. Click this button right here, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks.